Hey everyone, welcome back to WealthWave, your go-to channel for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, retirement, and everything you need to know about your financial future. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. Here we go again, another video promising big benefit increases that will never happen. And honestly, I get it. Politicians have been making promises about Social Security for decades, and most of the time, nothing really changes. But today's situation is a little different. The numbers, the political pressure, and the reality of America's aging population are all colliding in a way we haven't seen before, creating what I'd call a perfect storm that could actually force real change this time around. So let me ask you this. Have you checked your latest Social Security statement? Do you know how much you're expected to receive when you retire? And more importantly, did you know that amount could be on the verge of a massive change? I'm talking about increases as high as $600 more per month than what many retirees are currently expecting. That's not some vague campaign promise. That's $7,200 extra per year potentially hitting your bank account. Now I know what you're asking: where would this money come from? How realistic is it? And what are the chances this actually happens? Those are the big questions policy experts are debating right now, and they're the questions we're going to break down today here on WealthWave. But before we dive deeper, do me a quick favor. If you want to stay on top of every Social Security update that could affect your benefits, retirement, or financial future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss the updates we share here on WealthWave, because they could mean thousands of dollars for your household each year. Alright, so let's get into it. Is a $600 monthly Social Security increase even possible? And what would it mean for you and your family's financial future? Here's the reality. Social Security was never meant to be the only source of retirement income. But the truth is, for about 40% of seniors, Social Security makes up 90% or more of their income. That means millions of Americans are depending almost entirely on an average monthly benefit of just about $1,800. And let's be honest, in today's economy, that money doesn't stretch nearly as far as it once did. Rent is up. Food prices are up. Healthcare costs are through the roof. Seniors are being squeezed harder than ever before. So when we hear about a possible $600 monthly increase, it's not just numbers, it's about real people being able to afford prescriptions, pay their bills, and live with dignity in retirement. So how could this happen? There are a few different ways being discussed. Changing the cost of living adjustment, COLA, formula. Right now, COLA is based on a formula that doesn't reflect how seniors actually spend their money. Since retirees spend more on healthcare and housing, both rising much faster than general inflation, a new formula could mean bigger yearly raises. Raising the payroll tax cap. In 2023, only the first $160,200 of income is taxed for Social Security. Anything above that? Untaxed. Some proposals suggest raising or even eliminating this cap. That would bring in billions of new dollars to the trust fund, money that could be used to increase benefits. Targeted increases. Instead of boosting benefits for everyone equally, lawmakers could focus on the oldest seniors, widows, or those living on the lowest incomes. Now here's where it gets tricky. Even if a president, whether that's Trump, Biden, or anyone else, proposes these changes, Congress has to approve them. And Social Security has always been known as the third rail of American politics. Touch it, and you risk getting burned. But here's the thing, the pressure right now is stronger than ever. Both Democrats and Republicans are being forced to acknowledge that seniors can't survive on current benefit levels. If a $600 increase were to happen, it would be a 33% raise for the average beneficiary. That's absolutely unprecedented. For context, the biggest COLA increase in history was 14.3% back in 1980. Most years, it's just 1% to 3%. So we're talking about something that would completely change the history of Social Security. Imagine this, for a married couple where both spouses receive Social Security, an additional $600 each month per person would add up to $14,400 more per year. That could be life-changing. In lower-cost areas, it might mean going from renting a tiny apartment to being able to afford a modest home. In higher-cost cities, it could mean the difference between sharing housing and living independently. And the ripple effects wouldn't just stop with seniors. When retirees have more money, they spend it locally on groceries, healthcare, home repairs, and services in their communities. That boosts the local economy and creates a ripple of benefits for everyone. But, and this is important, we also have to be realistic. These types of big changes don't happen overnight. The Social Security Administration would need to adjust its systems, update payments for over 65 million beneficiaries, and Congress would have to figure out how to fund it all. That's no small task. So here's the bottom line, while a $600 monthly increase would be life-changing for seniors, the path to making it a reality is long, complex, and uncertain. But the conversation is happening, and the need is undeniable. Millions of seniors are struggling, and the political climate might finally be aligning to make real change possible. So what should you do in the meantime? Plan based on today's benefits. Don't count on increases until they're actually passed into law. Stay engaged. Social Security is ultimately shaped by the leaders we elect, so your voice matters. Stay informed. That's why I'll keep bringing you every update right here on Wealth Wave. If this breakdown helped you understand the possibilities and challenges of Social Security reform, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment below. Do you think we'll actually see a $600 increase? Or is this just another political promise? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, here at Wealth Wave, we're always watching the policies, the numbers, and the updates that affect your benefits, so you don't have to. Stay tuned, because this conversation is only just getting started.